And I'm glad you could join me again on my birthday for yoga today, MJCC yoga. This would be my, I think it would be my third video, full video. I might have a 30-minute-er that might be the fourth one, but this would be considered the third one. So anyway, I'm so glad you can be here with me on this beautiful day. And let's go ahead and get started. We will start in child's pose. So come on down to your mat. Go ahead and take your knees wide to the outer edges of the mat. Bring your feet together, and then see if you can just press that body all the way back, taking that tailbone towards the heels of your feet. And go ahead and take your forehead either to the mat, or if you need to rest on your arms, that's fine too. So this can be a modification. And then let's come into the breath here. So we're going to go ahead and inhale into the side ribs. Keep your head down. I'm just talking to you, so I may lift my head at times, but keep your head, your forehead to the mat or to your arms. And just come into your breath here for a moment. So we're going to take nice full breaths, blowing up those side ribs with air, just like a balloon. So you want to inhale through your nostrils, nice and fully. And really fill up the belly with air, like you're expanding the belly, just like you would expand a balloon. Side ribs are opening up. And maybe even come into that Ujjayi breath, that ocean sound at the back of your throat as you exhale, that little hum. So let's take a few moments of just breathing in this pose. Okay, here we go. Staying with the breath. And as you exhale, think about drawing that tailbone a little closer towards the heels of your feet. So as you stay with your child's pose, maybe you can just take this moment to contemplate your intentions for your practice today at noon. So it's this afternoon. And think about maybe just the fact that you're on your mat, and that's the best thing. And you're doing something really good for yourself, some self-care. And that will enable you to maybe do something good for someone else. So staying with breath here. Good, and then from here, let's go ahead and walk our hands over to the right side and open up that left side body. So you're opening up your left side ribs here, breathing into the left side ribs. Nice full breath again, in and out of your nostrils. Good, and then walk your hands back to center and take them over to the other side. Once again, now you're breathing into those right side ribs. Or whichever side you went to, it doesn't really matter. Just breathe into the side ribs, opening up the side body. And when I talk about breathing, I'm talking about breathing in and out of the nostrils most of the time. So try to get that full breath in and out of the nostrils. So from here, we're going to come into Sukhasana, child's pose circles, Inhaling to one side, circle around, exhale to the other. So just start that movement, getting a little movement going to start to warm up the body. Very gently, inhaling forward, exhaling back, just taking those circles. Maybe you might start feeling the hips open a little bit more. Good. Stay with your breath, inhaling forward and exhaling back. Inhaling through your nostrils, exhaling out your nostrils if you can. And if you're stuffy, if your nose is stuffy, it's a good way to try to help release that congestion. Good, let's reverse the circle, going in the opposite direction. Inhale to one side, exhale to the other. Let the body loosen up. Your body will tell you which way to go. Just honor that. And know that at any time that you're working with me on the mat, that you can always take a break if you need to. You can always rest on your back or in child's pose and do what you need to do. Good. Coming back to child's pose. From here, we're going to look towards our fingertips and inhale to up dog on the knees, Urdhva Mukha. Upward facing dog on the knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Press into your thumb, your middle finger. Good. Exhale. Out the nostrils. Pull the navel into the spine and come all the way back. And let's go back and forth a few times. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Stay with your breath going forward. Inhale, exhale, navel to the spine as you go back. Keep with the breath. Let the breath guide you. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. Good. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. Keep it flowing. And think about your finger pads. Connect those finger pads into the mat by pressing through your thumb, your middle finger, to keep the tension out of your wrists. You want the energy to come up to the forearms by pressing into your finger pads. Let that energy come up the arms. Good. Inhale forward and exhale back. And then last one, inhaling forward here. Let's curl the toes under and come into Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Take your feet to the outer edges of your mat, a little different down dog, a nice wide leg down dog, and hold it here. Good. Try to press the weight of your body towards the heels of your feet. Once again, connect those finger pads. Stay with your breath here for a moment. Good. And then from here, we're going to inhale forward towards a plank and then rotate into a side plank, Sukhasana. On one arm, if this is painful for you, drop your knee. This is the modification for Sukhasana. Hold it here. If you want to challenge yourself, then stagger your feet or pop one foot on top of the other. But the modification is totally fine. Keep breathing. Good. And then from here, we'll flip back over, back to downward facing dog. Good. Drop to the knees. And come back to child's pose and stretch it out. Breathe here. Good. Look towards your fingertips. Inhale back to upward facing dog. Hold it. Curl the toes under. Back to down dog. Take those feet wide again. Press the weight of your body back towards the heels of your feet. Connect your breath. Good. Coming into Sukhasana to the other side. Go ahead. I'm going to hop down to my forearm because my wrist is injured. Flip over and come into the pose this way. You could drop your knee, and another way for me to do it would be to drop my knee. As you see, I can take my hand flat. and then hold it here. This would be another modification. Or you can come into the full pose and stack one foot on top of the other. Just breathe here for a moment, flipping back over. Let's go back to down dog. Take a breath, come back to all fours, and go back to child's pose. And then rest in child's pose. This time, rotate your wrist a few times in one direction and then in the other. And let's come into a nice relaxing child's pose where you can grab the heels of your feet, let your shoulders rest down, and stay with your breath here for a moment. Good, slowly come up. So now when we come up, we're gonna slowly come up onto the knees, sweep the arms up, curl the toes under, keep reaching, Utthita-Hastasana, so nice, tall, long reach towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Good, and then bring your arms out to your sides. So strongly reaching out to the sides. Hold it here. We're gonna take a full twist, and then we're gonna come back for a camel stretch. So a nice side stretch here. Once again, breathing into your side ribs. So when you're in this position, think about lifting your hip points up towards the ceiling. Stay with your breath here. Good. Coming all the way back up and twisting back front again. So now we're going to twist to the other side. Complete twist. Reach back for the heel of the foot, lift up. Soft gaze towards the ceiling, towards heaven. Stay with your breath. Hold it here, good. Coming back, arms out to the sides and back to the front. And let's do this one more time. A complete twist, out to the other side. Reach for the heel of your foot and open up your side ribs. Breathing here. Stay with your breath. Lift those hip points up, maybe even lift from the pelvic floor as you hold this pose. Good, back, side, front, and then twisting back to the other side. And back up again, reaching towards the ceiling, nice and strong. Stay with your breath, good, coming back to your side opening and then to the front. Good. So from here, let's go ahead and come down to all fours and we'll do a few cat and cows. So inhale, lift the chin, the tailbone lifts, keep the fingers spread wide. Exhale, round into the spine. And just flow with your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. So let's just focus on nourishing the spine with the breath and the movement. Keep it going. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. This is really good for your back. Good for your spine. Keeping the spine nice and healthy. Good, last one. So from here, let's meet up in cat pose. I really want you to scoop that belly in towards the spine, push the spine up towards the ceiling, press into your thumb, your middle finger, hold it here for a moment, and while you're holding, then curl your toes under and come back to downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 5 full breaths. Firm your outer arms in. Think about your arms now. Think about the strength of your upper arms. Firming them inward. Stay with your breath. Keep pressing the weight of your body towards the heels of your feet. Good. So from here, let's go ahead and walk our hands towards our feet as we bend into our knees. Our feet are hip width apart. Spread your toes nice and wide. Take a look at your feet for a moment. Get those toes spread out. And then press into your big toe through your baby toe. Feel the toe pads pressing down. Find the grounding through your feet. Rest your chest on top of your thighs. Slowly sweep the arms up. Scoop the belly in. Inhale all the way up. Utthita-hastasana. Hold it here. Good. And then we're going to come into a standing twist. So arms are front to back. Nice strong reach here. Soft gaze over your back fingertips. So just allow this pose to be strong and soft all at the same time. So you're holding it nice and strong with your arms reaching in opposite direction, but then soften down into this pose with your mind and your breath. Good. And then inhale your fingertips back up towards the ceiling. Exhale to the other side. Soft gaze over the back fingertips. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Stay with your breath here for a moment. Good. Inhale back to center. Lift up through your fingertips. Find the grounding through all four corners of your feet. Lift your kneecaps. Engage your quads. Hold it here. Keep breathing. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. And then let's swan dive down and we'll forward fold. Uttanasana. Good. Hold it here. From here, I just want you to grab your elbows and just let your body hang. And if you feel like swaying from side to side, then just go for it. If you want to remain in stillness and just stay with this nice stretch, then do that. But just find the breath again. The knees are soft. The neck is soft. And your head is heavy. Keep breathing here for a moment. Good. So from here, I just want you to bend into your knees again. Rest your chest on your thighs and push through your feet as you slowly sweep your arms all the way back up. Inhaling up back towards the ceiling. Good. This time we're going to hook our thumbs. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. We're going to hook our thumbs. Resist away with the thumbs. Reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. Have your stance to where you feel secure enough to take a mini back bend. So keeping the legs strong, keeping the core strong, and then coming back. Keep breathing. Strong navel to the spine, strong core here, protecting your lower back, and then come back to center. Good. And then sweep the arms down. So let's step those feet wide now. Coming sideways on the mat. Legs are wide. Good. So from here, we're going to turn our front foot out and our back foot in, which means whichever way you want to go. If you want to just follow me, just follow me. If you're in the opposite direction, that's fine too. Bend into your front knee and get your leg, your thigh parallel to the mat and your front leg perpendicular to the floor. Hold it here. Good. And then from here, we're going to come into a Parsvakonasana side stretch. So we're going to take our forearm to the front thigh and then just reach overhead with your arm reaching by your ear. You want to keep the arm lengthening by the ear towards the wall in front of you. Your back foot is turned in about 45 degrees. That back leg is your anchor. So keep it nice and strong as you hold this pose. Good. So from here, if you want to challenge yourself, you can then slide your hand down in front of your ankle, that lower hand in front of the ankle. Keep reaching. You might even touch the floor. If you have a block or a book, you could put your hand on that. Or you can keep your arm here on your thigh, which is fine. So that's the modification. But holding it here, and then take that top arm and take a bind with it. Gently draw your shoulder back and connect with your breath. Good. Thigh is probably a little on fire at this point. Strong thigh, but find the grounding in your foot, your front foot, that will help. Good, then we're gonna come all the way back up and we're gonna be right in warrior two. Let's go ahead and straighten that front leg. Lift up through the waist and then glide forward coming into Trikonasana. Hold it here. And Trikonasana, you can challenge yourself. You can be up a little higher if you need to be. You can take your hand to the outer edge of that front ankle. If you want to go that low. And then you can take a bind here. Once again, a nice bind. Think about connecting the inner thighs towards each other. So activate your inner thighs. Connect your breath into the pose. Good. So from here, we're going to take that top arm back up towards the ceiling if you were taking a bind. Reach it by your ear. Keep lengthening out towards the side wall as you rotate your chest. Sweep from front to back. Push through your feet and come back to standing. Good. Release it. Now we're going to turn to the other side. So turning the feet in the opposite direction. Back foot turns in. Let's go ahead and bend into that front knee on the other side. Good. We're going to take the forearm to the thigh and you're trying to rotate your chest towards the ceiling. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Find the stability there. Keep breathing. Connect your breath. Good. If you want to challenge yourself, you can slide your hand down towards the floor. And then take a bind here. Or if you have a block, you can take your hand to a block. But you can leave it on your thigh to modify. You don't have to take it all the way down. You can keep your forearm on your thigh. And connect with your breath again. Good. Go ahead and take that top arm back up towards the ceiling. And then come all the way back up. Push through the front foot. Come all the way back up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Lift up through the waist and we'll go right back into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Hold it here. Good. Remember the inner thighs. Activate the inner thighs towards each other. Firm into your outer hips. Strong core, but let the breath flow. Take a bind here. Keep breathing. Good. And then release that bind. Arm back up towards the ceiling. Reach the arm by your ear. Keep rotating your chest towards that front foot. Reaching with your arm, sweeping from the front foot to the back to come back to standing. And release it. Good. So shake that out. And you may want to get some water. Take a sip just for a second. Okay. So from here, we're going to come into Sukhasana pose, chair pose. We're going to take the big toes together, separate the heels of the feet slightly, Inhale, sweep the arms up and come into chair. So you want to sit towards the heels of your feet. And see if you can just peel those toes up off of the mat. Scoop your belly in. Draw your tailbone down. Stay with your breath. Good. Push through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, blow it out your mouth this time. Nice cleansing breath. And let's take 2 more cleansing breaths. Inhaling through the nose as you sweep the arms up. Exhale, blow it out the mouth as you sweep the arms down. Inhale. And exhale, blow it out the mouth. Good. From here, we're going to step the feet wide, and we're going to come into Prasarita Padottanasana. So take your hands to your waist, your thumbs to your sacrum. Good. We're going to turn the toes in slightly on this one, a little bit pigeon-toed. And from here, go ahead and lift the heart center up towards the ceiling. Soften the shoulders down. Lift up and then slowly come forward, leading with your heart center. Good. From here, taking your hands down to the floor, you might find that you need to widen your stance once you're down. Keep those toes turned in. Walk your hands back between your legs. And let's stay here with the breath. If you have a block or a book that you want to put your head on, then go ahead and do that. And let's breathe here for a moment. So, these toes can be activated, and don't come out of it, just stay there. I'm just going to talk to you. It can be activated by pressing down through your big toes and sending that energy up your inner leg to your inner thigh. Breathe here. And it also can be activated a little more by lifting the tailbone. While you're finding that rooting down through the feet, through the big toes, lift the tailbone maybe just a little higher towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. Stay with your breath. Good. So from here, we're going to walk out into a puppy dog stretch. So that's walking your hands out in front of you. The legs stay wide. Once your hands out are in front, your hips fall back to the wall behind you. And your armpits are suctioning down towards the mat, towards the floor. Breathe here. Really nice stretch for the back. Nice lengthening stretch. Not a whole lot of pressure in the hands here. The weight of your body is falling back into your hips. Good. And then from here, go ahead and walk your hands back in. Take your right hand to the center of your legs. If you have a block, take it onto the block. Rotate your left arm up towards the ceiling. Actually, it'd be the opposite for you. Sorry, I'm terrible with right and left. Hold it here. Keep breathing. You may want to take a bind here. Wrap the arm around the back of the waist. Gently draw your shoulder back as you rotate your chest towards the ceiling. Holding it here. Find your breath again. Remember that breath that goes in and out of your nostrils. See if you can locate it. Soften your mind with your breath. Soften into the pose with your breath. Good. Let's take this to the other side for a twist. Prasarita with a twist. Opposite hand comes down. Opposite arm pops up. Towards the ceiling, reaching nice and long. Wrap your arm around the back of your waist. Gently take your shoulder back. So you're trying to rotate your chest up towards the ceiling. as you stay with this nice stretch. Keep breathing. Good, release it. And then from here, let's heel toe in towards a prayer squat, which I always love to do those squats. Come on down to your prayer squat, taking the palms of your hands together. My elbows are inside my knees. Some of you may not be able to get there, so you might be here with your forearms on top of the knee, on top of the thigh. That's okay. This could be a modification until you can get lower. So do what works best for you. Find that grounding in your feet. Think about lifting the pelvic floor up towards the navel. So the pelvic floor is lifting. That energy is lifting from the lower spine up through the crown of your head. Finding that good energy, that prana. Keep breathing here. Good. So from here, go ahead and take your hands, wrap them around the back of your ankles, coming into Malasana. Nice inner thigh stretch here. Good. And then from here, go ahead and straighten your legs up. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Reach up towards the ceiling. Really good stretch here. So while you're reaching, go ahead and step your feet back in, hip width apart with the toes facing forward. Keep the arms up. Stay with your breath. Good. I just want you to hook your thumbs again. Resist away with the thumbs. Lift up through the fingertips and come back into your little mini back bend. Remember your core. Your core is really strong here. Keep breathing. Good. Come back up. Utthita Hastasana. Inhale. Exhale. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Good. Inhale halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. Hold it here. Nice flat back. Exhale. Uttanasana. Hold it here. Bend into your knees, push through your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Lift up through your fingertips. Hook your thumbs again, and then go ahead and come back into that little mini back bend. Keeping the core super strong. Stay with your breath. Your legs are strong. They're grounded. Your feet are grounded. Good, come back to center. Release it. Let me check the time. Okay, we're good. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and take the feet wider. Take the arms all the way out to the sides. And then taking the legs maybe a little bit wider, sweep your arms all the way up to the ceiling. So you're in a wide stance again. This time we're going to turn your left foot out just a little bit as you sweep towards that foot, bending into the knee. Sweep across to the opposite foot and come all the way up. Good. And then you're going to go to the right. Bending into the knee, little tiny lunge, sweeping across your mat and coming all the way back to center. Good. Back to the other side, little lunge, sweeping across, back to center using your core. Keep it going. Good. I love to always do this little joint releasing movement. Nice stretch. Sweeping across and back up, coming back up to center using your core. Stay with your breath. Good. Okay, great. Now back to center. So from here, we're going to heel toe back in a little bit, come back to standing, shake your legs out, and then go ahead and just come on down to the mat. Let's come down to seated position in Sukhasana. I'm going to sit on my blanket. You can sit on a pillow if you need a little more height, if you don't have a blanket. Coming into your cross-legged pose, into Sukhasana. And then from here, let's come into Sukhasana twist. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, press down through the sitting bones, and then just come into a little twist. Nice soft gaze over your back shoulder. Breathe here. Let's take 2 more full breaths. Think about lengthening up through the spine, keeping the shoulders softened down. Good. Inhale back to center. Press down through your sitting bones. Exhale to the other side. Soft gaze over your back shoulder. 2 more full breaths. So this is just a simple seated twist. Good. Now from here, we're going to inhale back to center. And then this time, take the legs straight. I am going to come off of, well, no, I'm going to stay on my blanket. Never mind. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into boat pose to work the core. So I'm going to grab the back of my knees here, back of the thigh, near the knee. Hold it here in a tabletop position. Scoop your belly in. Find the strength in your core center. Keep that belly scooped in. Stay with your breath. If you want to challenge yourself, you can take your arms out to the sides from here and straighten your legs. If that's too much, you could take your hands behind you and then straighten your legs this way. With your hands back behind you. So whatever you need to do, challenge yourself, but protect yourself all at the same time. Stay with your breath. I'm shaking. This is challenging. Good, release it. We'll release it to Baddha Konasana. So take the soles of your feet together. Sit nice and tall. Good. So lengthen up through the crown of your head. Hang on to your ankles and see if you can open your knees out to the sides. And then keep sitting nice and tall. Lift your heart center towards the ceiling. Once you're here, if you can keep that straight spine, then you can hinge forward from your hips, from the crease in your hips. And keeping that flat back. Good. And then coming back to center, let's come back to boat pose. We're going to do it 3 times. Nice challenge here. Because this would be a good modification right where I am right now. But make sure that if you challenge yourself and straighten your legs, that you scoop your belly in even more to really hold that through the navel, pressing towards the spine. Strong core here. Strong inner thighs and outer hips. Firm into the inner thighs. Firm into the outer hips. Good. Release it. Back to Baddha Konasana. Pressing those knees out to the sides. Good. And then hinging from your hips if you can, keeping that flat spine. Reaching your heart center out over your toes. Good, let's come all the way back up and let's do boat pose one more time. Scoop the belly in. Straighten the legs if you want to, or just stay here with a modification and just work on scooping the belly in as you exhale. Navel comes to the spine. Find your breath. Let your breath, allow the breath to energize the pose. Good, release it. This time we're going to take the legs straight and forward fold. So flex those feet up, sit nice and tall, press down through your sitting bones, and then see if you can come forward. If you have a strap, this would be a time to take that strap around the balls of the feet if you're less flexible. If you can grab your big toes with your peace sign fingers, then go ahead and do so. If you don't have a strap and it's really difficult for you to do this stretch, you can push yourself back against the wall and then just try to hinge forward gently, even just right here. So find what works best for you in this stretch without tearing your hamstrings. A little bit of stretch goes a long way, so you know when you get to that sweet spot, that's where you are. You don't want to push past it. You don't want to tear anything. Keep breathing. Good. Now we're going to take the legs wide out to the sides. And once again, with this wide stance, we're going to come forward, leading with the heart center. Getting a really nice stretch here. And for those of you who have a block, if you're capable of getting your head down, forehead down to the block, to the third eye, you can rest there for a moment. If you don't have a block and you can come down to your elbows, you can take your thumbs to your third eye. And you can rest like this. Don't even need a block. But if you can't make it down low, don't worry about it. Just come forward the best you can. Maybe just walk your hands out in front of you in the center to help hold you here. Or grab your legs, come forward like this. But breathe and try to just hold this nice stretch. Let your body open up with your breath. Give your body that time to soften into the pose, to release and not to tense. See if the muscles, if you can send that breath to your muscles and just let the muscles open up. Good. Walk your hands back up. And then let's draw that left foot in. I think I got it right this time. This is my right, so it's your left. So bring that left heel of the foot in towards your pelvic floor. Let's rotate the navel towards the knee and come forward into Shavasana stretch. Now, once again, this may be as far as you go. If you have a strap, you can take it around the ball of your foot. And you can hold here, you can hold here. And be nice and tall. Try to get your spine straight. Try not to drop your neck down so low. See if you can lengthen, keep the neck in line with the spine as you come forward. Hold it here. Keep breathing. Once again, try to soften the muscles with your breath. Good. Release it. Come to the other side. Same thing to the other side. Rotating your navel towards the knee and then hinging forward from your hips, keeping the spine straight. Breathe. Just locate the breath. Allow it to fill up the muscles. Maybe connect with that ujjayi breath, that little hum at the back of your throat again as you exhale. Just exhale that energy into your stretch. Good. Okay, so release it. And then we're going to come into a twist on our backs. I think we've had enough in the seated position. So let's come into a nice spinal twist, coming down to your backs. But I'll tell you what, we'll start first with what is this? Happy baby, I'm sorry. I went totally brain dead. Happy baby pose. I was thinking of the Sanskrit and then I knew that was wrong and then I got confused on the English term for this pose, which is simply happy baby. As you can tell, this pose is supposed to make you happy. Okay, so hang out here for a moment. Let the hips open up. Maybe grab behind your knees if this is too difficult to hold the bottoms of your feet. Maybe grab behind your knees and pull your knees towards your shoulders. Good. Now release it. Take your legs to a tabletop position with your arms out to the sides, palms down. And then let both knees just fall over to the side. I don't care which side they go, whichever way they want to go. Taking both your shoulder blades towards the mat. And let's take 3 full breaths here. And for those of you who want to add a little more stretch to this, of course, you can straighten your top leg out if you want to, and even grab the bottom of your foot for those of you who are super flexible. And just breathe. Breathe into your side ribs. Breathe up and down the spine, all the way down your leg. Good. Now go ahead and draw your knees back in towards your chest and let the knees fall all the way over to the other side. Stacked one on top of the other. Arms are out to the sides with your palms down. Both your shoulder blades are reaching towards the mat. And let's take 3 more full breaths here. And you have a choice to keep that top leg bent, or you can straighten it out. Or you can grab your foot too if you can straighten it out. And keep breathing here for a moment. And while you're holding this pose, see if you can just let your muscles melt down with the breath. Try not to grip. Try to allow the muscles to open and relax. Good. Coming back to your back. Hug your knees back in towards your chest. And let's hug that right knee in for Ekapada Apanasana. So we're going to hold the right knee in, kick out through the left leg, push through the ball and heel of that left foot, like you're trying to kick the wall in front of you. Hold it there for a moment as you pull that right knee in towards your chest, towards your shoulder. Breathe here for a moment, and then switch it to the other side. Nice stretch here. Push out through the heel and ball of your right foot with the foot flex. Hold it here. Breathe. Soften your shoulders down. Relax your neck. Good. Then from here, go ahead. Last pose. Last pose, we'll work the glutes a little bit. So let's tuck those shoulder blades under, one at a time. Push up those hip points. Coming into Setu Bandha pose. I want you to try and tuck the tailbone under. And you should feel the connection in the back of the shoulders. Not in the back of your neck. Your neck should be soft. So spread your toes wide. Push away with your feet without moving them so that your chest slides towards your chin. And then from here, if you want to, you can interlace your hands underneath just to give your shoulders a really nice stretch, lengthening the hands down towards your heels. And breathe. Connect your breath. Good. Slowly come down one vertebrae at a time. From here, let's take that right leg up, cross it in front of the left knee, and reach through for thread the needle to get a good hip stretch. So I've got my hands interlaced underneath my knee, my left knee, and I need it a little deeper, so I'm going to interlace my hands on top of my knee. Pull it in a little closer. Good, and then switch it to the other side. thread the needle, kick that left leg up, cross your ankle in front of your knee, and you're taking your left hand through that triangle, the right arm reaches around. Most all of us have done this pose before, so I think you know where I'm going. And once again, if you need to deepen it, you can interlace your hands on top of your knee, not underneath the knee. And hold it here. You should feel a really nice hip stretch. Good. And then from here, we're just going to do a really quick quad stretch. Roll over to your side, grab the back ankle, and just stretch it out here. And then roll to the other side. I'm going to flip over, grab the back ankle, and just stretch it here, pushing out your hip point so that you just feel a nice stretch. Good. And then from here, I want you to go ahead and set up for Shavasana, your final resting pose. So you can grab a blanket if you have one, and you can take, if you want to, you can take your legs up the wall. You can also take a blanket and fold it over like this and create a bolster to keep the tension out of your back as you come down. But go ahead and get what you need. If you want to swing your legs up the wall for this, that's fine. So just get where you're comfortable. Or flat on your back. I always like something underneath my knees. It helps my lower back. And then just come into your resting pose. Come to Shavasana. I want you to take, once you're down, I want you to take 3 cleansing breaths. I want you to inhale through your nostrils and then exhale and blow it out your mouth. And while you're doing this breath, I want you to just allow anything that might be plaguing you to come out, and you just release it with the breath. Inhale through the nostrils, exhale. So blow away anything that does not serve you well at this time. Try to soften your mind as you take that nice cleansing breath, inhaling fully into your belly. Exhale, blow it away. Blowing away all the worries of the world right now. And then take a swallow to release your throat muscle. Soften your facial muscles. So just notice, is there tension in your brow? Is there tension in your jaw? Release that tension. Softening the facial muscles. Maybe even taking a moment to put a smile on your face and seeing how that feels. Sending yourself a little happiness, a little joy. And relaxing your shoulders down. Softening the shoulders. Soften your arms, your wrists, your hands. And then soften your heart. Releasing any tension out of your heart muscle. Allow it to fill up with air as you inhale. Allow the belly to fill up with air as you soften your belly. You don't need to try to hold it in. Just let it fill up with air. And then relax your hips. Relax your thigh muscle. Soften your kneecaps. Soften your calves. Release your ankles, Release your feet, all of your toes. And then soften your wrists and your hands, releasing your fingers. And then come back to your thoughts for a moment and see if you can find that space, that softness between the thoughts, that little blank space. Just that moment of silence in your brain. That moment of stillness that you might feel as you notice the in-breath and the out-breath as it takes you deeper into relaxation. So just following that breath. Continue to soften the mind, soften the body. Good. And then on your next inhalation, go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes. Notice your fingers, notice your toes, stretch them out a little bit. Hug your knees back in towards your chest. And gently rock on your spine. Give yourself a little massage, a little back massage here. And then just let your legs fall over to the side. Cradle yourself there for a moment. And take the time to just appreciate all that you've done for yourself today. And all that your body does for you as you make your way back to sitting. Coming back to Sukhasana, bringing our hands together in Anjali Mudra, taking our thumbs towards our heart center, and sending love, light, happiness, health, and compassion to ourselves and to the universe. Thank you for joining me for another yoga session. Namaste.